Who do you got, Sabo or Zoro?
Sabo versus Zoro. Who's stronger? And Rob, I love the enthusiasm about Sabo, bro. We need more Sabo Glazers like you, bro. But in good faith, I don't know if I can call Sabo stronger than Zoro. Let's break down the rest of this video.
So one person took an arrow tail to the chest. Another person clashed with that. Zoro got blown up, bro. I don't think you realize how early. Right? This is the reverie.
So Larry brings up the fact that one of these guys got clapped by Imu's little arrow technique, whatever you want to call it, and the other one clashes with Imu's little arrow technique. But like Rob says, the reverie was hundreds of chapters ago. It would only make narrative sense for Sabo to get stronger throughout that time period. Not to mention, to Rob's point, the literal next panel is Zoro getting clapped up by a different technique from Imu.
I'm saying my belief is that Sabo, after that incident, got back in the gym, which is what Oda said. Sabo trains every single day. I don't know why you guys think Sabo is weak.
Now, Rob, this is where I gotta stop you right there. Because I looked up and down the internet on every single SBS, and the only one that could really find anything that says something about Sabo's training was volume 80. Now, in this SBS, it goes on to say that Sabo was rescued at 10 years old by Dragon. And we know during that time, he was training pretty hard with Dragon himself. But nowhere does it state anywhere in the manga, the anime, or in any SPSs that it was daily training. Later in this SPS, it goes on to say that at 13 years old, Sabo met a girl named Koala. That's when Koala got introduced to the Revolutionary. And it says Koala was the one training under Hack to learn a form of fishman karate. Never does it say anything about Sabo learning that same technique.
Rob, do you think Zoro trains every day? I mean, we get to see Zoro every day, you tell me.
And while we don't have any statements from an SBS or the manga or anime itself stating that Zoro does daily training either, it is heavily implied when they're traveling from island to island on the Sunny, anytime Zoro has downtime, he's training.
Now we're being facetious though, because let's be honest, right? Kobe trains every single day. Are y'all gonna say Kobe's stronger than Zoro?
No, we're not gonna say Kobe is stronger than Zoro, because we've seen feats from Kobe that prove that Zoro is stronger than him.
In reality, Sabo's literally been training with Dragon from such a young age, who we know is the world's most wanted man right now. There's different levels to this.
Now what Rob is saying is true. Dragon is the most wanted person in the One Piece world. But wanted level and power level are two different things, Rob. Because by that logic, then we would have to say that Buggy is one of the top tiers in the verse, when we know that is not true. Buggy has a very high wanted level because of the influence he has on the One Piece world. And we know that Dragon has a very high wanted level because he's the direct opposition of the world government. Anything the world government says, he does the exact opposite of. So I'm down to give Sabo some credit for this statement that he trains underneath Dragon, the most wanted man in the world. But to say that Dragon's the most wanted man in the world, therefore being the strongest man in the world, therefore training Sabo, meaning making him basically the strongest man in the world's pupil, is kind of disingenuous. We've seen very little feats from Dragon, and we've seen very little feats from Sabo. But we have seen a lot of feats from Zoro, and that's why I don't know if I can say that Sabo is stronger than Zoro now. At the absolute maximum, the most I'm willing to give Sabo is that he's on an equal playing field with Zoro. Maybe a 50-50% chance of the battle going either way. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments.